Yeah. Yeah, morning all. Like myself, I'm Vijay. I have all 20 plus years of experience working in different technologies, like starting with like big data, Hadoop, Spark with Scala, Spark with Python, right? And also in Azure Data Engineer. So before I start, can anyone please confirm whether my voice is clear, whether the screen is visible or not? Yes. Can you please confirm whether my voice is clear, whether the screen is visible or not? Yeah, fine. Thank you. So as part of today's demo, I'll be covering like why Azure Data Engineer, why data engineer, role of Azure Data Engineer, difference between data engineer, data scientist, and data analyst, Azure Data Engineer products or services, job market of Azure Data Engineer, job market of Azure Data Engineer, right? Yes. So here we are going to use a cloud like Azure Cloud. So cloud majorly utilized, why we go for cloud and what are the advantages of cloud, right? Cloud is majorly utilized for storing the data, analyzing and delivering data in various forms. Cloud is majorly utilized for storing, analyzing, and delivering data in various forms. Delivering data in various forms. We have got on-premises, right? So if we compare on-premises with the cloud premises, in the case of on-premises, everything you are will do by ourselves, right? We need to set up our own hardware infrastructure. On top of that, OS installation to be done, purchasing of database license, installation of database server, designing of database objects. To maintain all this, we require separate teams. We require separate teams like hardware team is required, operating system team is required, networking team is required, security team, and data administrators. But here in the cloud, but here everything in the cloud premises, we no need to maintain all this. So no need to maintain any infrastructure, no need to maintain any licenses, right? Yes. So data engineer with the help of these cloud services, they work on the data, make it structured and useful, Data engineers responsible for smooth data flow. They're responsible for smooth data flow from source to destination. Data engineer responsible for preparing the data, cleansing the data, transforming the data, and processing the data. Data engineer responsible for preparing the data, cleansing the data, transforming the data, and processing the data. Preparing, okay. Now, how data scientist is different from a data engineer. Data scientist, data analyst, and data engineer, right? Data scientist, it's in a simple way, strategizes for the future, recommendations for the future. Is going to analyze the data, identify the patterns, performs various like data predictions, data classifications, data analysis, data clustering, data recommendations. On the other side, data analyst is going to summarize the data of the past, analyze the data and summarizes the data of the past, visualizing the data, visualizing the data. So data engineer does all the groundwork for this data scientist and data analyst. So data engineer does all the groundwork for data scientist and analyst. So data engineering involves, so more than 80% of data analysis work is done by data engineers. 80% of data analysis work is done by data engineers. Data engineering involves what are the sources of the data, what are the sources of data, and what is the format of the data, what are the sources of data, what is the format of the data, how to transform or process the data, what is the destination of the data, what are the sources, what is the format, how to transform or process the data, and what is the destination of the data. Why Azure data engineering is in demand today? Now next is like why Azure data engineering is in demand, right? Right. Why Azure data engineering? And why Azure data engineering in demand today? Okay. For example, check with this. An organization wants to increase, for example, organization, it wants to increase its business revenue by utilizing the customer behavioral data on its website. By utilizing the customer behavioral data on its website. The organization using Azure for its operation. The organization using Azure for its operation. So it is going to hire two people, Azure data engineer, the data scientist. First, this data engineer, Azure data engineer, is going to create a data warehouse for the organization. Is going to create a data warehouse for the organization. A data warehouse is the storage of structured and queryable data. A data warehouse is the storage of structured and queryable data. It contains data from various sources, such as new user logs, clicks, existing customer data. Data engineer structures the data, stores it, and monitors it in this data warehouse. Secondly, the data engineer communicates with the data scientist. Data engineer communicates with the data scientist. To understand the data requirement, he also communicates with the business team to know the business requirements of the organization. He has to keep in mind the business needs when dealing with the data in hand. You need to keep in mind, right, the business needs while dealing with the data in hand. Data engineer constantly keeps processing, analyzing, and monitoring the data. Data engineer is going to create data pipelines through which the data is integrated, integrated with all the phases, all the crucial stages of the data flow. You also make sure that pipeline is always efficient and secure. Pipeline is always efficient and secure. This is the primary role of data engineer. Apart from that, we have got many other things, right? So role of one by one. What are the role of Azure data engineer? The role of Azure data engineer. First one, like designing entire data flow architecture. Designing the entire data flow architecture. Creating a data warehouse. Creating data warehouse for storage of analytical data. And next is like ETL, extract, transform, and load. Extract, transform, load. Extract, transform, load. ETL is one of the key tasks of data engineering. They need to extract data from multiple sources, transform it into structured and queryable data. Then they load that data into this company storage service for further business evaluations by the data scientists. Data monitoring. Right? Data engineers make sure that the ETL is performed in a proper way and the data is available anywhere and everywhere where it is required. Data security, right? If we talk like data security, data security. Ensuring data security is also a major responsibility of data engineers. Ensuring data security is also a major responsibility of data engineers. The data needs to be secure at each step of the process. The data need to be secure at each step of the process without any data leaks or exposure. Collaboration and communication. Collaboration and communication. They have to constantly communicate with the business team to check if the team needs the data insights and also some kind of analytics, right? Data engineers analyze the data and transform it into structured and useful format. They need to have strong analytical and mathematical skills to perform the analysis. Automation, they have to have certain process which requires a minimal human intervention such as extraction, right? Yes. Automation also. So like certain process has to be automated, which requires very less human intervention, like data extraction. So role of Azure data engineer, like designing the data flow architecture, creating data warehouse, performing ETL, data monitoring, data security, collaborating communication with the data scientist and the business team. Analytics, they need to have some analytics knowledge, right? To perform analysis, automation, certain things to be automated. And Azure, various Azure data engineering products and services. Azure data engineering, Azure data engineering products. Azure SQL, Azure Data Lake, Azure Synapse Analytics, Azure Data Factory, Azure Databricks, Azure Cosmos DB, Azure Streaming, Azure Key Vault, Azure SQL, Azure Data Lake, Azure Synapse Analytics, Azure Data Factory, Azure Databricks, Azure Cosmos DB, Azure Streaming, and Azure Key Vault. So I'll just give overview, one line overview about all this, right? Azure SQL, Cloud RDBMS. It's a Cloud RDBMS of Microsoft. What is this Azure SQL? Cloud RDBMS of Microsoft in Azure. It is for OLTP operations. This one not for data. Azure Data Lake, distributed file system. With unlimited data storage. Distributed file system with unlimited data storage. Azure Synapse Analytics. Azure Synapse Analytics for data warehouse operations. For data warehouse operations. In big data analytics. For data warehouse operations in big data analytics. Azure Data Factory. Azure Data Factory in a simple way. Azure Data Factory, right? Cloud ETL. Cloud-based ETL. Of Microsoft. In Azure. We have got many on-premises ETL, right? Like Informatica. Like Informatica Talent Data Storage. In the same way, like on cloud premises, on cloud, we have got cloud-based ETL of Microsoft in Azure. Azure Databricks. Azure Databricks, it is Apache Spark-based data analytics platform. Apache Spark-based data analytics platform. So Azure SQL is a cloud RDBMS, Microsoft, and here distributed file storage with unlimited data storage for data warehouse operations and big data analytics, Azure Synapse, Azure Data Factory, cloud-based ETL of Microsoft in Azure, Azure Databricks, Azure Apache Spark-based data analytics platform, Azure Cosmos DB, like MongoDB, just like MongoDB is on-premise, so it is a cloud. Cosmos DB is a cloud premise, right? Yes. Cloud-based NoSQL database, Azure Streaming, Azure Streaming, capturing and processing, high volumes of streaming data. high volumes of streaming data from multiple sources simultaneously. Capturing and processing high volumes of streaming data from multiple sources simultaneously. Azure Key Vault, secure key management for protecting data in the cloud. Okay, fine. So as part of this course, so as Azure Data Engineer, in this ADE, first Azure Data Factory. It's a zero coding ETL, no prerequisites, zero coding. ADF, Azure Databricks, next ADB. I will be discussing about ADB, Azure Databricks with PySpark. So in this course, I will be discussing PySpark in brief, not like other training sets like PySpark, total PySpark in brief. Apart from this, like Azure Synapse Analytics, these things in brief. Apart from this, you'll also get knowledge on this Azure SQL, Azure Data Lake, you'll be getting knowledge about all this. So you'll be, this is the entire thing we'll be discussing. Major discussion will be on this 4. So the duration will be 3 months. Okay. Duration 3 months. The timing of this batch will be, initially it will be at for the 3-4 days it will be at 10 to, it will be at 11 to 12, but after 1 week it will be from, timings will be from 10 a.m. starts at 10 a.m. For the first 1 week like that, it will be at 11 a.m. It will be starting at 11 a.m. But timings will be at 10 a.m. It will be starting at 10 a.m. Offerings from my side. Before that, you can just check with the train course overview of this Azure Data Factory. Azure Data Factory top level components, pipelines, activities, linked service datasets, pipelines, linked service datasets, creating datasets for different file formats, activities, wait activity, copy data activity, get metadata activity, filter activity, and triggers, scheduling, global parameters, manage private endpoints, monitoring ADF jobs, data flows for working with different types of transformations. Now around 50 exercises I'll be discussing in brief, like 50 exercises. You can check all these 50 exercises. Azure Databricks, introduction to big data, introduction to Hadoop, introduction to Spark, and cloud computing, and this everything will be getting, and creating Azure Databricks service, cloud cluster management, displaying cluster, starting cluster, terminating cluster, deleting a cluster, cluster information, cluster log, types of cluster, all purpose and job cluster, Databricks pools with Databricks without pools, Databricks with pools, Cluster mode, standard high concurrency Databricks utilities, right? Databricks integration with different things, Databricks handling multiple file formats, Databricks batch processing, Databricks streaming API, and the Databricks Lakehouse, Delta Lake, right? Workflows in Databricks. In Azure Synapse, right? You can check this in brief. In depth, we'll be discussing about the Synapse. Okay. Offerings from my side. Offerings, right? Live session video, you will be getting each and every session video, right? If you miss any session, you can go to the recorded of it. Within 2 hours time, you will be getting that video. Clear soft copy of these notes, topic wise. Assignments and tasks to work. A WhatsApp group for technical discussions. WhatsApp group for technical discussions, right? Yes. If you got any error, you can just take the snap and post in this. Interview questions. Live interactive hands-on sessions. Okay, you'll be getting the videos, notes, WhatsApp group assignments, task interview questions. Apart from this, and from DURGASOFT side, right? Yes, it's going to provide Python videos. If you have got, if you want full command on this, totally Python video access will be provided, which will be for 1 month access. MySQL, Linux videos, Linux and shell scripting videos. Linux videos, Linux scripting, right? Around 120 videos you'll be getting, right? Yes, these are the access you'll be getting freely from the Microsoft site. Python, MySQL, and this Linux videos, right? Python videos around 100 videos, MySQL, Linux, all these things. So these are the offerings from my side. And if you come to this see job market of Azure data engineer, according to the Microsoft, every year lakhs of companies getting registered themselves on the Azure. More than 95% of this Fortune 500 companies are utilizing Azure cloud services. This in turn increases the number of job opportunities for Azure data engineers constantly. Major companies begin to trust and adopt Azure more and more. Organizations shifting to Azure regularly, they need of professionals who can work on Azure. All right. According to the pay scales, also data engineers have got the highest average salaries as closely as data scientist. The two highest paying jobs, data engineer and data scientist. Any queries tomorrow? Also, you can attend the session same time at 11 o'clock using the same link to see more things on this. Any other queries you got, anyone? Yes, go ahead.
Currently I'm working as DevOps engineer. Okay, so I'm working as a DevOps, Azure DevOps, as well as I also support the various DevOps platforms. So I'm currently attending some interviews where they are specifically mentioning about this data engineer. Okay, Azure data engineer, and they are asking about these data related services from the Azure cloud. Okay, basically. So is it definitely necessary that DevOps should have the knowledge on the data engineer?
So if you have got, it's better, but here totally will be working with the data engineering. What all the tools, what are the things I have showed you, right? Azure
Mm-hmm.
Data Factory, Azure Databricks,
Yes.
Azure. Mainly like Azure Databricks is the main thing. People, if you have got knowledge on this Azure Databricks and this PySpark, will have, it will add great weightage to the resume. Means they will check with this Azure Databricks and PySpark, and also
Okay.
apart from that, they'll be asking a Data Factory and Synapse also. Mainly the first four products like mainly required. So you'll be learning about all these things. First
Okay.
thing, Azure Data Factory, no coding, zero coding, totally drag and drop. In this
Mm-hmm.
Databricks and PySpark, we'll be writing the basic Python codes, basic
Yes.
Python, not the entire thing. Flexos is
Mm-hmm.
also providing various inbuilt functionalities and methods for performing the task, right? Yes. So, and Azure Synapse Analytics. So the
Okay.
first four things, right? You need to know how to work with the tools and how to use it, and how to write, and using this PySpark. In all these things, four things, right? PySpark is the main execution engine, right? In all this, PySpark is the main Spark, we say, right? Spark is the main execution model background it is going to run, right? So if you see in this 2025, especially from this 2025-26, right? The majorly two technologies, right? They are running in the market currently: data engineering and data science.
Yes.
It has got highest, the two high paying jobs, and also which has got high of openings, lot of openings, right? So yes.
Okay.
So even a lot of companies, right? If you see, data engineering are emerging top ranking jobs today. So as I said, so most of the companies, they are like Facebook, Intel, Microsoft, Amazon, all these are interested in hiring data engineers. They great salary packages. Also, like many other companies like Google, Apple, Cognizant, Walmart, all these, they're offering high paying jobs for these data engineers. We see a lot of requirement at present as they're migrating to this cloud environment. Lot of requirement for these data engineer professionals. So you can expect this 1.5 times that the salary package also, you can see 1.5 times more than the other technologies. Even you can demand for 100% hike also, right? So
Mm-hmm.
in the same way, they'll be expecting the command, the technical skills from you, right? So in this course, I will be spending 3 months of time. We'll be getting all those things, right? In brief.
And is the SQL knowledge is much important for this SQL?
Basic Python and basic SQL.
Okay. Okay. And do we morely concentrate on the ADF, right? And I have basic question that okay, that if you are a ADF, okay, if you are in this data engineer, so is it required to have a additional technology along with this? Because for DevOps, everyone is asking data engineer. I don't know, but I think they are looking for candidate who is having multiple skill set within the cloud and within the Azure.
Previously, okay, but currently in the industry, they're expecting multiple skills, and also, as said, right, the
Yes.
two major things which are running in the industry today, two major things which are in the market today, uh,
Mm,
like data engineering and data science and AI.
okay.
With data science and AI and Azure data engineering are the two things. Means not, I'm not saying Azure data engineer through Azure or through GCP, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I
Yes.
handle this Azure data engineering through Azure cloud, and also I also handle data engineering through GCP also. In the weekend, the batches there for that GCP data engineer, right?
Yes. And I mean, like more are going to GCP. I don't know why, because they are giving more subsidy.
No,
Even
no,
my
no,
project, people are going into from AWS to GCP. We migrated 4 applications of us now.
no. Actually, Azure data engineering, both GCP are more there. As students are asking
Mm-hmm.
more on this, we see that
Yeah.
depending upon the students asking for that, the batches will be running. Previously, I
Okay.
used to run with AWS data engineer. Now, totally moved to this Azure data engineer, right? Because most
Mm.
of the times they ask for Azure data engineer, Azure.
Okay. Okay.
Even
Sure.
both they are asking GCP and Azure, but mostly like Azure data engineer. So that's why more batches will be running for this Azure data engineer.
Okay.
Fine.
Fine, sir.
So huge. You may ask why need to shift means this Azure data engineering jobs you can command or you can demand for the salaries. This is
Okay.
the kind of source which has got a huge demand in the market, demand in the industry, right? So
Mhm.
little bit.
And sir, one more question, sir. We have some data tools like Hadoop, and big data tools, right? So,
Yes, sir.
are
Yes, big data, Hadoop and Spark. We say
Mhm.
Hadoop and Spark. So
Yeah,
in this you should have seen this course content, right? Here you will be getting the yeah. Complete your query.
yeah. Actually, there. I mean, few days back, like 2 3 years back, we have like DevOps and big data. Both are on high paying, and people are went from DevOps. I went to DevOps, and then some my friends are went to Hadoop and all. So, is this data engineer which is related to the same big data, or is it slightly different from the big data?
In the Azure Databricks, what you will be learning? Introduction to this big data, Hadoop.
Yes, Hadoop.
Can you see this course content? Hadoop, Spark. Can you
Yes.
see this? What you will be learning in this Azure Databricks, big
Okay.
data,
Big
Hadoop,
data, Hadoop, Spark.
Spark. Yes, everything will be there in this.
Okay.
Mm. Here
So
totally
it's a combination again, right?
Spark with Python implementation. Spark. Currently in big data, Spark is the main execution, right? Main execution engine.
Okay.
Hadoop, Hadoop, okay, but Hadoop, you need to know that Hadoop has brought a revolution in distributed computation. It has brought a revolution in distributed computation, right? Means data is going to be distributed and there's going to be parallel processing. And
Okay.
multiple on the same job is going to be done on multiple systems parallelly. That is what right? That we will be discussing. Okay.
Okay.
So
Okay.
tomorrow also you can attend the session same time at 11 o'clock using the same link to see more discussion on this, right? More brief about this components I'll be discussing, especially like Azure Data Factory, Azure Databricks. You can see the very high speed processing with cases like Spark, right? Huge data and very high speed. Tomorrow, if you can see that more major discussion will be on Azure Data Factory and Databricks. I'll just elongate the discussion on it. Okay. Any other queries you got, anyone?
No, sir. Yes.
Okay, so if I'm done with the queries, if there are no other queries, just signing off for now. Meet you tomorrow, 11 o'clock, same time using the same link. Right? Thank you. Bye.
Sure, sir. Thank you so much. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you.